Welcome to another Genshin Impact video. Today we are gonna take a look at Chasca. I just finished building her. She is level 90 now. And yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do. I actually already played a little bit with her just for farming her own boss. That's why she's friendship level 2 already. And yeah, so far I'm having a lot of fun with her. But now that she's level 90, we can do the real test. So yeah, let's go over the build and then try her out. As you can see, she has 2600 attack. A little bit more than most characters, because I'm actually using an attack goblet instead of an elemental goblet. I'm gonna explain why when I go over the artifacts. And yeah, the crit rate is 41 and crit damage 182. This is of course gonna be 81 when I get the 4-piece set effect, because I'm using the Obsidian Codex on her, the new Natlan set, which gives 40% crit rate. So yeah, having a ratio of 81 to 182, pretty good. A little bit of energy recharge as well, and yeah, no elemental bonus because like I already said, I'm using an attack goblet. The weapon I'm using is the Hamayumi, the craftable Inazuma bow, because you know it has attack, which again is good for Chasca, and also increases charge attack damage, and most of her damage counts as charge attack damage. So this is just a good free-to-play weapon for her. And then the artifacts, using Obsidian Codex, and mainly focused on crit and attack, as you can see, with an attack sense, attack goblet, and crit damage circlet. And the reason you want an attack goblet on her instead of an anemo goblet is that most of her damage is actually not anemo. It's from different elements. She's like the first character who deals damage that's not from her own element. I mean, we had like infusions before that characters can give to other characters, or you know, like when some anemo skill is infused with an element, like Kazuha's Burst, for example. You know, stuff like that we had before. But she doesn't just infuse her anemo stuff with other elements. Instead, she straight up deals damage from other elements that is not influenced by anemo damage bonus at all. And that's why an attack goblet is actually better for her than an anemo goblet, because this buffs all the different elements that she can use instead of just one. But yeah, those are my artifacts. Then Constellation, still C0. So this is a very free-to-play Chasca C0 with the Hamayumi. And the talents are at level 9. So yeah, that's my Chasca. So now I'm gonna go to Masanori as always in these videos and see what she can do. Okay, here we are. And I'm just gonna use Chasca on her own first, without the rest of the team. Just to see what the baseline is basically for her damage. And the way she works is pretty simple. You just use her skill and then you hold the attack button and she just charges the bullets, and as you can see, 4 of them are from different elements and only the first 2 are in emo. And yeah, that's already Masanori's first HP bar gone, just like that, because she actually does a lot of damage. Even more now that she's level 90. Like I said, I already tested her a little bit against her own boss. Already was impressed by her damage then, and now even more. But it's kind of difficult to see the actual damage numbers because there is like 6 at once. I think I saw a 40k there? Maybe, yeah, another 40k. Because she also, it was a melt, 43k melt. Yeah, she also can trigger her own reactions basically without any other team members. Because she had a cryo bullet and a pyro bullet, and that makes melt. And yeah, which bullets she gets, of course, depends on her team members. I have Charlotte, Furina, and Amber here at the moment. And she also gets some damage buffs the more different elements you have. When you get constellations, then you don't need 3 different elements. But at C0, you basically want a complete rainbow team with 4 different elements. 3 of them being either cryo or hydro or pyro or electro. So the usual elements that anemo can react with. So now that we've seen what she can do on her own, I wanna use the full team here. And yeah, Furina obviously should buff her a lot. And Charlotte is basically just here as a healer and, you know, to increase the Furina buff, because you need a healer for that. And my Amber is actually built as a support. I've already shown her in some previous videos, but for those of you who are new here, I have built my Amber with the Elegy for the End, which gives attack and element mastery, and also with the Noblesse Oblige, which gives even more attack. And she can actually make really good use of it because her burst has very low costs, so she can basically just constantly burst and keep this buff up. And on top of that, my Amber is also C6, which gives a further 15% attack, so she's actually a pretty decent support, especially at C6 and if you have the Elegy. But the character I'm probably gonna play Chasca with in the future is actually Auroron, because he's also very good support for her. It's just that my Auroran isn't built yet, so for this video, I'm using Amber. Anyway, let's go in now and hold nothing back. How fast can we kill him if we just unleash everything? Oh, that's a lot of damage, like half his HP bar immediately. And he is pretty much dead. There we go. That was like 4 shots from Chasca and he's gone, because every single shot did like half his HP bar. I mean, yeah, not much else to say about that there. That was just really damn good. Needless to say, she is a very good DPS. And not even that hard to build. Because, you know, I mean, I've already shown it, but this set is just so nice with the 40% free crit rate basically. And then on top of that, she also has crit rate ascension. So you barely need any crit rate substats. Like, I think on some of these artifacts, they don't even have any crit rate. Like, yeah, here for example, and I think the Circlet also. I have some crit rate on the other ones, but not much. Like, it's only 3% here, also 3% here. Like, this one here has the most crit rate. The point here being is that even if you don't get many crit rate rolls on the artifacts, it really doesn't matter. She is gonna have high crit rate anyway. And also that you don't need an elemental goblet is nice as well. Anyway, there's one more thing I have to test here, and that is of course her burst. I've just kept it at full energy until now because of the Hammer Yumi. Because this effect here, the 12% charge attack damage, doubles if the energy is 100%. But I still wanna try the burst anyway. So yeah, let's do this. Because as far as I understood it, the burst also fires some of these infused bullets. So let's just see what happens here. Yeah, we did do some pyro and cryo damage here, and I think I also saw a hydro hit. So yeah, it does do infused damage as well, but the numbers weren't that high. You can also see Masanori's HP bar barely did anything to it. So it really can't compare to this. So I think I'm gonna be fine just not using the burst to keep up the Hammer Yumi buff. Because as you could see there, even without the double buff, with the full energy, it still did a lot of damage. And since I don't have much energy recharge, I'm not getting energy back that quickly. So yeah, I think I'd rather keep up the Hammer Yumi buff than use the burst. I think the burst is actually a DPS loss with the build I have. Now Masanori is pretty frail, so let's actually go to a boss with a little bit more HP. This chonky guy over there will suffice. And yeah, let's just see how fast we can defeat him. I don't have any bursts of my team members right now, so gotta take care of that first, I guess. Get some energy for Charlotte. There we go. Furina also almost has the energy. Let's just use Ember. Furina now. Charlotte. And Chasca. There we go. Doing good damage. Yeah, obviously it's not as much as against Masanori, I mean percentage-wise, but that's just because this guy has so much more HP. It's still very good damage. Doing a lot. And obviously we can stay in the flying mode longer because we are in Natlan. You know, consuming phlogiston. Oh, almost one-cycled it, basically. Well, not really one-cycled, but you know what I mean. Killed it before we left the flying state. Anyway, let's just do this now, and that should do the trick. There we go. Yeah, that was pretty good. And I actually feel like that I haven't really done that much in this showcase yet, but there isn't really much else to do. She's a pretty simple character, all things considered. Yeah, she's just a pretty classic attack scaling DPS. The slight difference to most other DPS is that she deals damage from several different elements. There's like this special thing about her, but other than that, not a really complicated kit. But it's fun. I just love flying around on her gun. It's so fun. Especially in Natlan, where you can fly for a long time. Exploring this new area over here, where her flowers are that you need for ascending her, is actually so much better when you can fly. Now, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this Chasca Showcase. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Genshin and other gacha content. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, have a nice day.